You are listening to episode number 3. It's alive of Turn 1 Catalyst, where the risks are calculated, but the math is always wrong. We're your talk show hosts, Colin Horf, known in game as Anukshuk3441, and on Twitter at AnukshukTOC.
And I am Devon Butler. I am Kulana7502 in game, and I'm at Kulana on Twitter.
You get to say your number and your name this week. Are you impressed? You're moving on up.
It's a big step. I feel like you really trust me now.
No, I don't. We're testing the waters. So anyway, we've got lots to talk about this week. Yeah. But first, we'll start with our prep phase, our last 2 weeks of gaming. So the game was down for one of those 2 weeks.
Which was tragic.
Very tragic. But before it went down, I managed to get my stressed out, and I managed to get penultimate, which were my goals. And then while it was down, I found Duelist, which I have found has a dark and shady past, but I still really like it. Since the game's back up, I'm working on that level 10 Celeste. I think she's like 7 or 8 for me. I'm definitely not going to get one of the first people to 20. And then I'll work on Gray, and that's my life.
Are you not even going to bother with Chapter 1 for 5 to 10? Or 5 to 5? It's 5 to 5.
Well, Chapter 1 is like, you accidentally do Chapter 1.
Except for the 5 to 5.
I'm just getting Celeste to 10. I'll eventually get that because I had just about every freelancer to 10 before, so I'll eventually get there.
Fair enough. Oh, you also forgot to mention that we ranked silver something, or were we down low about that?
So no, I mean you can go ahead and tell them your solo rank, but together we equal one shiny turd. We got silver 4 together.
There you go. See, I mean, hey.
So now you take it away and tell us what you got solo.
I got gold 4, which I was pretty happy with.
No, you got carried.
Yeah, I definitely got carried in my solo games. Yeah, I got gold 4, which was nice. I was happy with that. I also got stressed out, beta maxed, penultimate, and then the 30 wins with 5 characters. But I missed the 10 character one, and I was really sad. But that was
How much did you miss it by?
Like a 5. I got the 5 and went. I would rather gouge my eyes out than finish doing this. I was doing it in bots, so it was just like move one to the left.
You can't say you missed it when you only did 5. Yeah, you can't. That doesn't count.
I mean, I missed it in that I didn't get it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, I also found Duelist, and I'm enjoying it a lot, but it's not as good as Atlas.
I'll agree, it's not as good as Atlas. The they try to go pixel art with it, and I really like the pixel art, but it's like bad pixel art. Like it's hard to. Yeah, it's like the detail is too washed. You know.
Yeah.
It's like Fire Emblem is pixel art, but it looks great. This I don't know what they did. They ruined it. They ruined it all. But I still really.
In any case,
on to the dash phase, the news. We're going to try to keep this a little shorter this week. So, in those 2 weeks, it went up, it went down, and we got new patch notes when it came back up again. So we'll have the patch notes in the description below. It looks like a few of the things in there. Mostly it's like balance changes and some other stuff that we'll talk about. But there were like some hidden things in there. I didn't see anything about the Trust skins, and the Trust skins look like they're gone. Like there's Omni for 3 or 4 dudes now.
It's like 3 or 4, like Helio and some others.
Yeah,
Helio, Aurora.
I haven't seen any Evos, any Robotics, so those are all gone. The taunts look like they're cleaned up on a few, especially like Asana's face was really active when she said "touch me and bleed." Now she looks like a human.
Yeah, I think Celeste got some similar ones. Like I've seen a lot of them. It looks a lot cleaner. Like the professionalism has really stepped it up a step.
Yeah, I agree. The L ones especially were crazy. Like the eyes were just all over the place.
Yeah, those gave me a little bit of the like Uncanny Valley heebie-jeebies. So I've seen the reload one. The reload one looks a lot better. So good changes.
The overcharge, yeah. Well, I'm just full of surprises or whatever the hell she was. Yeah. And so we're not going to go through all the balance changes. There wasn't anything particularly big. They just kind of like nerfed mods, buffed mods, removed mods, added mods. Everything has, I think they said every ability has 4 mod options now. Yeah. So that's basically what they were trying to do. So yeah, you can read that down there. And so the game is officially in Head Start. It launches on the 4th, which I believe is Tuesday.
Yeah,
yep, Tuesday.
Tomorrow when this goes up, but
Yep. New freelancer, Juno is live, and we've been seeing quite a bit of her.
I don't.
What do you?
Yeah, I don't like her at all. I don't think she's any good. She feels very confused. This is the same thing I said about Orion, where he's kind of a tank, but he's also kind of a support. He doesn't really seem to do either of those jobs well. Like, she feels very much so she's kind of a tank, but also it's kind of a firepower in it. Like, she just doesn't do enough damage, but she's also not tanky, and the fact that she doesn't have a dash feels really like they really hamstringed her. I do really like her tether thing though. That's a really cool mechanic, and I like that they're doing new stuff.
To me, she fits the L niche. L's a firepower more so than a frontliner, but she's kind of like in between. I feel like if L is a bit more firepower and a bit less frontline, Juno's a bit more frontline and a bit less firepower, but they're both still firepowers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were going for. And if that is that, they've totally nailed it. Can you make the tether? Like, I haven't looked at any of her mods yet, but if you could make her tether like a free action and then knock them away, that'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be silly.
Does it persist? I wonder.
No, you
tether?
only get one turn of it. They said that on one of the live streams.
Yeah, I haven't had much. I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I played one game of her just to, and I didn't look at any of her mods because I had reset 0 mods. So, and some of us didn't pay $100 for the game.
Oh yeah, you don't have tokens, eh?
Well, I do now, but I didn't when I was playing her. Now that my L is like 7 or 8, or my Celeste, I've got more than I can handle again.
Yeah, and it's I'm not going to rehash that, but yeah. Silly.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about it. They don't know what they're doing with it either,
Yeah.
but they agree. So the next freelancer is going to be a female support, and on Tuesday on launch, she's going to be on the public test server. I almost said Realm. This is not Blizzard.
This is not PTR.
This is not.
I'm gonna be a terrible host here. And where did that news come out? I didn't see this.
That was the live stream.
Oh, I didn't watch the most recent one. I watched the one before.
I didn't watch the one before. I just watched the most recent one. Yeah, so evidently she's been in the lore for forever. So you could probably guess who she is, but they're not going to tell you. You can just go find her on the PTS. I don't actually know. Like, does the client let you download a PTS?
Yeah, if you go into the client, you can just click in the upper right
live
corner.
PTS.
Yeah,
just like every other launcher. So I might just download it on Tuesday to see myself.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for a new support. I just hope they stick to the pure support archetype and not. I don't want somebody who's 60% support, 40% tank.
I really don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna, because like everything in the game, all the new stuff is like a hybrid of some extreme or another.
We've kind of
nothing
hit
is
all
just
the baseline stuff.
Yeah, nothing's pure damage anymore, pure tank anymore. Everything's got a niche, and I like that.
Going backwards, we have Juno, Orion, then it was Helio, but then Blackburn, and Blackburn's pretty much pure damage, no?
Yeah, he's pure 100% damage. I don't think he's got anything utility at all about him, except that he makes the other champions dead.
That's a lot of utility, to be fair.
That's pretty good utility, because if they're dead, they can't do things. So that's util. But I mean, like.
No, but yeah, fair point. We are at a 3 run where it's like everything is super hybridy and weird. And I mean, I like that.
Jay was saying something about that too.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely good for the game, but it's a little frustrating.
Prevents things from being samey.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just don't like either of the weird hybridy supports. I don't really like the hybridy firepowers. I don't like that niche.
Well, it's not just about you, Devon. There's other people.
No, I saw NASA put out a video of the center of the universe, and it was me. So I don't.
There's you, and then there's the sun,
and then the Earth rotates around the sun around me. It's like
that Tycho Brahe thing. I only know that because Anyway, moving on. Also on the 4th, we're getting the brand new map, the Omni Reactor map, which they previewed in the live stream. If you'd watched it, they did 5-on-5 in that live stream. I don't know if that was unique or what that was, but that was pretty cool.
I think I saw something about custom games can be 5-on-5, but I don't know if it's. Yeah, because they said.
I hope they don't
Yeah, I don't want them to change the game. Like,
Yeah, me neither.
they,
I hope that's all that was.
yeah. Well, I mean, they said there was a bug where it was like if you did 5-on-5 in a custom game, you couldn't actually see all 5 members of your team, and they fixed that.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah, because they like hadn't actually planned for people to do that, I guess, but they put it in the game still. I don't know. But yeah, so I hope that's just a custom game thing. I didn't actually look at the map. What did you think about it?
It looks like Flyway Freighter, but it's got the color scheme of Cloudspire.
Mm.
And then in the back, there's like I've never seen a supernova going off constantly, but that's what it looked like.
That's pretty cool.
There's just like a big ball of energy just whirring, and it's supposed to be the reactor, right? The thing that when you die, it's what spawns you. I'm guessing. I think is what they said. So yeah,
It looked
really cool.
Why don't you love this stuff?
I just haven't dug into it yet, so I don't know yet. But I mean, I will eventually. Eventually, I'll be like, so wait, which one's Omni? And then I'll start reading about all the Omni heroes or freelancers, and then, which is triggering me mildly because of that the cinematic. There's like Omni working with Warbotics, working against Warbotics with Evos. Like it's just I don't think their factions actually matter.
I mean, maybe it's like it could be like a prelude, not prelude. What's the word? Prequel, not prequel.
You'll get there eventually. Just start saying things. Prehistoric, prefix.
Prehistory? Is that right?
I basically said that already.
Anyway. Yeah, maybe it's like the precursor to the actual story. Bam! Found it.
Cursor. That's a good one, yeah. Okay, so anyway, moving on. They so as we suggested, no, this is totally not us. They revamped the new player experience. Which did you skipped that all over again?
I skipped it all again because I do not need it.
You are a monster. So like the tutorial is literally the same, but then they make you. Well, they don't make you, but they heavily suggest you play a bot game afterwards. And then the bot game in the top, left. That's left. In the top left corner, there's a bunch of like menu like buttons that you can click on, and it explains all the different things like cover and like the different phases and haste and might and blah 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 blah. So they've definitely vamped that up quite a bit, and I never felt like it pushed me to play a PvP game. It kind of just let me decide to do that on my own. Which of course, like after the bot game, it was like, oh yeah, PvP now.
I mean, you can't play PvP until 3, so you've got to.
Yeah, but like the tutorial and like 2 bot games and you're there.
Yeah.
So.
I skipped it all because.
Because you're a monster.
That's me.
I still feel like it's not really. I mean, I guess there's inherent incentive to do it if you don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like it would be cool to get like a matrix or something from it.
Yeah.
But whatever. So one of the changes that I did not like was they're gating the seasons by date now, and I think that's because they're going to give rewards for every season that you beat along the. So each step is a season. What is the full thing called?
No, each step is a chapter.
Oh, word. Yeah. Okay. So each chapter is they're going to give you an award. I think it's an overcon is what they were saying on the Pepper Titan stream today.
Yeah.
But
there's only 3 overcons, so they can't.
Well, they're not done yet because he said the same thing. He's like, well, you're missing one, and they're like, well, it's not necessarily all in the game yet, which is why I think they've gated them. Because they need to work on them.
They just don't have the content out, but they wanted a full release.
Maybe they also didn't want somebody to like pound through all 5 chapters in one sitting, So
and then quit, yeah.
Yeah, and then stop playing. The idea is they get them back in the game over and over. So anyway, chapter 1 is now open. Chapter 2 opens on the 18th of October. Chapter 3 on the 1st of November. Chapter 4 on the 15th of November, and then the last one, chapter 5, on the 6th of December, and then. The season ends. What did we say? Like early January, mid-January.
I think it was like January 10th was the last, or was when the thing said.
I think that sounds right. So like
these are long seasons. I want to throw that out there. Like I'm used to.
That's about Diablo seasons, isn't it?
Yeah, Diablo, but like all of the competitive game seasons, like Hearthstone's is a month. Overwatch is 6 weeks.
Is 3. No, Overwatch is like 3 months, isn't it? I thought they changed that.
I heard on the Gamers Inn that it was 6 weeks today. I mean, I don't have first-hand experience, but
no, me neither. So I'm going to defer to your second-hand experience because I've got like fourth-hand experience. So which is my brain just making shit up.
Yeah, it's fourth hand through like bad memories.
yeah. The third one doesn't actually exist. It's just leapfrogging that one. So yeah. Okay, so that's a long season for sure. But if it's anything like the beta, you need that time for some of these.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get to level 500. I think that's a touch dumb of me, but I'm definitely going for it.
It's like the insanity title in WoW. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous for saying that.
I'm like going to school as hard as I ever have. I'm working as, pretty much full time. Like, I could definitely hit 500 this season. It'll be fine.
You've got to play well. Just like that all over again. So along with gating the different chapters, ranked will also be gated. And that's probably just for like optimization. I'm sure that's not going to be the case. Well, maybe it is the case every week because there's breaks in other games too, like in League. So, but anyway, they said about 3 weeks for ranked to be launched after Tuesday, October the 4th.
I'm curious about that. When ranked comes out, I'm totally going to just full switch to ranked when I'm not got, people around. But what about you?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel
absolutely.
about it? Yeah? Okay.
I mean, I got to get my silver 4 back.
Maybe I'll carry you to gold another game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway.
So right along, we got our keybinds in. We did it, boys. We did it, Reddit. Replays are in. Replays are a little buggy now. If you ever don't have a replay, just reset your client. They're in your file, but they're not the button doesn't show up. So that's all you have to do is reset the client. The devs. So that community rewards mission thing that we had
on the replays are obviously very beta. I want to throw that out there. It's
yeah.
There's no pausing.
Yeah, you can't control them. It's basically like watching a stream of yourself. Yeah, without commentary.
Cool. I mean, hey, we're in year 7 of League of Legends and we still don't have replays. I'm taking the joke.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's still better than League.
It's still better than League.
That's because there's not an EU West in this game, right? Right. Well. So anyway, so the devs, going back to the community thing, there was all those community levels. The devs just gave us all the levels. I think it went to 6, but 6 we didn't know what the reward was. They just gave us all the levels, and so I didn't know what the levels were. So really quickly, I'll run through them. Level 1 was the 10% bonus to loot matrices that you bought. That came from the first level. I didn't realize that. Level 2 was a banner pack and founder forum title. I didn't also realize that. And then level 3 is the Omni Trust skins, and I can't remember. It's Sana and Helio are for sure in there, and I think there's 1 or 2 more.
Aurora, one other.
Oh yeah, and Aurora, yeah. Then level 4 was the emoji pack. Level 5 was the extra taunts. So, and level 5 is the one they just gave us. So all of the 14 original freelancers are going to get an extra taunt, and I am super hyped for that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to throw out there, why Omni? Why Omni specifically? That seems
those
really
are the
strange.
Coolest skins.
I mean,
that's probably because they probably tested the highest, so that's probably why.
Yeah, they were.
That's what I'm going to imagine.
When so right before they maxed out all the trust bars to level all of the trusts up, I know that Omni was a full level ahead of the other 2 trusts, so it was definitely the most popular.
Well, Warbotics was red and green, and everybody who looks at red and green, their eyes start to bleed a little.
No, that's actually that there's science there.
Yeah. So, no, I know.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm a psychologist. And then the Evos was I don't like the show. I hate you and I hate Jay Knight. So anyway, then Evos was teal and light green, which is okay, but it's. I mean, I like Evos.
Yeah, I like.
But then Omni is purple and white, and that's cool. So that's science. I know that because I'm a psychologist, but not from the show.
But not from the show. Okay. Rip.
Hate you both. So then, finally, for our news section, MMOgames.com wrote a review, and along with that was in the live stream they actually said the Steam reviews have been very positive. So that's exciting. Which also means, or reminds me rather, that I haven't written one for Steam yet. So I'm totally gonna do that, and I suggest you guys do the same.
I should definitely.
But anyway,
do that.
The link to that article is also in the description. It was mostly. I mean, it was. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't terribly well written, but it did have some good points. So,
just throw shade at the news articles. Jeez.
I mean, it didn't really say anything except that the game was amazing, which is true. But
Needs to be more.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to write a news article about a game, try to put some content in there. Anyway. So, moving on to our blast phase, since you want me to use the friggin' title so much, which is our big topic section. We'll start with Carltan72. What do you know what his like actual is that what he uses?
I have no idea.
That's the Google Doc is saved as Carltan72, so I'll just say that. He wrote a really good beginner's guide / outline to all the freelancers currently in the game. The link to that, again, in the description, as always. And so you were pushing super hard about this. Why?
Because I think it's a really great like introduction of the thing. I really liked what he said.
Content.
Yeah, I know it was really good content, and he breaks it down really like this is 2 like sizable paragraphs per person. Like, yeah, there's a lot of information here if you are interested in digging into the game and the thing. But also, I wanted to start a larger conversation about the roles of the game, as well as like what everybody's supposed to accomplish. Like, that's been what I've been trying to dig into recently.
Do you think that that article like addresses that in any way, or was that just a thought on top of reading that article?
No, he definitely goes over it. He's like, frontliners have high health pools. They don't hit as hard. They are, intended to be like they're supposed to get you vision. They have crowd control to disrupt the enemy team, etc., etc. Like he definitely hits those bullet points, the big ones. And,
so let's move along with that idea then. Starting with frontliners, what is their primary job? What is their secondary job?
I mean, there's a mix there in that like it's a combination of vision, tanking obviously, and disruption. And this is something that I've been kind of struggling with. When I look at the frontliners, a lot of them don't really have that much disruption. Like, I don't think that Titus is weak in counts. Like, it's just not enough.
I think Titus is probably more on the damage side because he marks a dude and then so again, every freelancer in the game to some degree is different than any other one.
Mm.
And I think when the pools for the support and the frontliners are particularly are small, and so I feel like their diversity has to be high. I feel like the frontliners' diversity is a little on the low end, but it's still pretty obvious. I feel like if you're looking for disruption, you're not bringing Titus. But if you have like frontliney fire powers, then maybe Titus fits.
Yeah, because then you can kind of balance that out. Yeah, and we'll get there, I'm sure, once we get a larger champ pool. But right now, it's just not enough. I think there's also a slight struggle with like Asana and Rask are both very, very good in that they have really good like mitigation. They're Rask is the self heal. Asana has 2 different shields. They've got really good mobility, and they've got disruption too, where Asana has the root and Rask has the knockback. Like, they're kind of the pinnacle, the whole package there. Whereas you see, Garrison doesn't have disruption. He doesn't have
anything.
Yeah,
you can say anything.
And yet he was the server first 20. I don't know. I don't understand what that was about.
Because it's super troll. Actually, well, I mean, he got buffed in this last patch. I don't know exactly what he had to his kit because I never played him. I never paid attention to him.
Yeah,
he might actually be decent now.
I mean, there's still the inherent problem that I have with him in that the checkboxes that he hits, they just aren't there. There's just not enough of them. He doesn't sustain very well. He doesn't disrupt.
I still think Rampart has to be the best tank, in my opinion. He disrupts too much. He outright like removes damage from the game. Certain damage, and if he has brain juice, he can wall wall, and that's 3 walls in a row.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's not a shield. Yes, it's not self heal, but it's its own kind, its own brand.
Right, and he's also got the 2 hooks. Like he can, and that it happens a lot more than you would think. His shield also does decent damage. It also can slow. Like I personally feel like he's the best tank in the game, but I don't play frontliner, so all I know is when I see one on the enemy team, I crap myself a little.
Yeah. I'm very fond of the turn 2 unstoppable with Aurora, and it's just like, yeah, you hooked, but I don't care.
Yeah, like, he's kind of like Blitzcrank and Leak. If you screw up, he makes you pay for it worse than anybody else. I think Asana's got a little of that too, because if she can reach you turn 1, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, but it's not quite the same. It's definitely not at the same level as he is. His is
just rooting, yeah, because he pulls, yeah.
He says you're surrounded. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What he says is you blew your flash. Good job.
Yeah, well, if you don't, like if you overextend turn 1 and then don't blow your flash turn 2, you're definitely blowing it turn 3, or you're just dead.
Yeah,
so.
Or the game's 1-0.
Yeah. He definitely punishes new players hard. And I'm a new player. So.
I thought I heard Trask said Trask. I thought Trash said that they really liked him after the double hook, but then I've not seen him in any PPL that I've watched.
I think they still favor the Zennore just because I think they're just objectively better. I can't explain that, but that's what they say, so I believe them.
Yeah. Don't question those that are better than you.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% what this is. I'm not 16 anymore. I know I don't know the best or know everything. So. So any more on frontliners?
I think we about covered it. That's definitely.
All right. So now let's move on to your favorite supports. Their primary job.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like just healing and buffing. I mean, like, yeah.
Okay, done. Next, firepowers.
You just want to talk?
No, I just think your role is crap. That's all.
Oh, okay. Just remember that next time you're like, I need to heal.
Why are you healing the puppy? You know me.
Yeah.
So, and you have to be semi-intelligent with your heal, because if you got 2 dudes that are low and you feel like one dude is just gonna get killed, regardless of your heal, you got to place it intelligently. Also, if you're Helio, you got to try to spread the love around if you can.
And you need to be proactive, not reactive, which is my struggle.
Yeah. And if you're Finn, you're just actually a firepower. So
yeah. He does so much damage. It's ridiculous.
He does. He's actually. I feel like if I were to play support, I would just play Finn all the time. The more and more that I see of him, because his eels do so much damage and they reveal, and his range is crazy, and his shield is crazy. His ult's crazy. You need to play more Finn. That's what I'm saying.
His heal is just not that great, and it
isn't that great.
Yeah, and that's the trade-off. You get a 40 turn shield or 40 health shield that gives you unstoppable and damage.
Yeah. Just going back to the hybrids.
Yeah. And
so
a lot of the time when we're playing, like right now, recently, it's been 3 firepowers and me. So I'm not gonna pick the damage oriented firepower because of that.
Okay, but you could argue that his heal is weak less because he does damage and more because it's a fat AoE cone, right? Like Aurora struggles to hit not when you're in bronze, but typically the Aurora should struggle to hit her entire team with her one. Whereas the Finn shouldn't never really be that hard. No, yeah.
I mean, it's another problem with being proactive. You've got to. It's definitely a positioning issue, and if you're not aware of what you're supposed to be doing and that you're supposed to be hiding in the back and like trying to hit people with that, then yeah, you're gonna be out of position for it. So there's still some element of not being able to hit everybody with him.
With Finn, yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, hers does damage too, right? Like if you can hit a friendly and an enemy, it also hurts. I don't think his does.
No,
yeah.
It doesn't.
But his I don't know if it's a mod or not, but his can like heal and then shield for that turn, like a 5 damage shield or something.
Yeah, that's a mod.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't play support either. I only play firepower. I only even one firepower, so
you'll get over that eventually.
So what do you the next support that comes out? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a more Cork-like, a more Aurora-like?
I definitely want to see somebody with
Helios.
I don't know, like I'm so torn on this because I like to see the new tools and I like to see the new stuff. Like Orion was really cool in concept, but I don't like how far they split off of like what I would expect to see out of a support, and that worries me. They're clearly willing to try stuff and experiment, and I like that a lot. But when you experiment, sometimes it just doesn't work out that well. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I've seen a lot of people really love Orion, but I just can't.
I think he's actually fine. Like his heal, like Jay was saying in that last episode, he was saying until he has 5 shards, he's crap. But then once he's got 5 shards, he's actually really good.
Yeah.
And I think that's you just build up to it, and then you only use your ult when you absolutely need to or you die, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, but then we see Orion's like we saw earlier today, where he's like, I'm gonna just run into the enemy team and like ult eventually. But
I mean, player skill, especially in our MMR, is not something to look at as a shining example.
I mean, I don't know. Can't really.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. You don't play support. What do you know?
I think you're wrong. He does damage, so I know.
Okay, his 1 damage.
He does damage with 2 abilities. I know all
Oh
about
yeah,
him.
sorry, the ulti. The ulti is just so strange. I don't understand the ulti. Like,
It's so bad.
why does he want to go into the enemy team and then damage them and not actually do a support thing?
He doesn't. He doesn't. When he screws up positionally or gets pulled, then he wants to have that in his back pocket. That's what it is. It's not. He doesn't want to use it. I firmly believe he's not meant to use his ultimate until, oh shit, I have to use my ultimate now or I die.
So
because he doesn't have a dash. You like every other thing, barring supports,
Other
has
supports.
an oh shit button.
there's only one support with a dash.
Yeah. So nobody has everybody has an oh shit button. That's just his. His is just weird, and on his ultimate.
Yeah, I don't like it. And it
And
neuters him.
yeah, exactly. He pays for being out of position. He pays for oh shitting.
Fair enough. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're getting at.
Did you like that knowledge bomb I just dropped in? I mean, I don't. That's my guess. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend to know anything.
I mean, no, it's reasonable. I just
the devs are probably just like, no, not at all. This kid's retarded.
this kid's so dumb.
What is he even saying right now?
It's a good idea in concept, but I feel like, again, you make a character without an ultimate functionally, and you've got to compete with other characters that have ultimates. Like, why would I ever pick somebody with 3 abilities when I could pick Finn, who has an AoE, AoE knockback, or Aurora that's got an AoE heal?
Presumably, he can keep a 5-life target alive, unlike anybody else.
That is true. We've seen some of that recently, and it is very interesting to watch him, like, that guy's just not going to die. But I've also seen one kill himself today. Like, today, it was like, I was in the thick of things as a sauna.
That goes back to not healing the dead dude, because he's going to get blown through it. Just, yeah. We literally won that game because that Orion killed himself.
It was beast. Don't get me wrong. He did work. But I was just like, what are you doing? I'm dead. Just let me die. I 4 turns in a row of all my defensive CDs, and it's time to just let me go.
Yeah. Just pull the plug. It's over. Exactly. It's been a good fight.
So, anyway.
We good? You want to move on to the last one here? All right, so you can go take a break or something if you want, because we're on to mine now. So we have fire powers. So I don't pretend to know their job like the back of my hand, but to me, and most obviously, their stuff is to make stuff more deader than they are. So you kill things and then you don't die in the process, and you yell at your support, usually Devon, to heal you when you screw up. If there's a tertiary role, that would have to come from that would be like champ specific, hero specific, like L kind of being in their faces but trying to be slippery, and Gray getting vision on more, I guess, where the frontliner isn't, if there's people missing. But other than that, it's just shoot things in the face and kill them. Yeah? What do you think?
Yeah.
You played Lockwood once.
I played Lockwood once. I feel like there's a little bit of it, but it's definitely very much so they have one big job. Like, Elle's got really good zone control, for example. Like that, the drone she has is really cool for that. You see a little bit with that with Gray as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With Gray.
And I feel like there's a little bit of that, but there's not a lot. It's very definitely damage focused.
Very binary. Is that what you were going to say? Because you're wrong. No? Okay.
I don't even know where that came from. What are you talking about?
I just want to make sure you're not crapping my role, because my role is best role.
Yeah.
My role is why you win, unless you're Finn.
And then Finn can do it. I don't know. We almost lost to support 3 tanks earlier today, so I don't know that we need fire powers.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. One of those was Pepper.
And two of them were devs, so.
Did you see the game right after ours? He played against all of Trash and lost.
Nice. I mean,
it's pretty troll.
You can't fault him for that, though. Like, let's be clear.
No, you can fault him for losing to us, because what the hell?
We're terrible. Don't lose to us.
If you lose to us, you should probably just quit, because you're too far gone.
Anyway.
So going on that trend with the comp things, so it's meta to have one support, one frontliner, two firepowers. That's the meta. But does that actually provide any kind of benefit over other comps? Like, why is that the meta?
I think that anything other than that it requires more like communication. It's very, very straightforward to know what your job is in a tank damage healer game. But like, I wouldn't want to solo queue into healer tank because like, what am I even supposed to do in that without communicating about it prior? It provides a very good like baseline. This is what's expected of you.
So how does we'll pick Asana, Aurora, and 2 damage. How is that inherently better than like a Pup, a Nyx, a Gremo, and an L, or a Finn or a Helio? Pick a support, not an L. Because like a Gremo and a Nyx can sit back. The Grey can get you the vision and kind of frontline-ish. She can at least inform you what direction to run, and then you've got a support. How is having a frontliner 2 damage a support better than that?
Okay, well,
is that?
You pulled the one example that really kind of like works against it to me in Grey, and that like if you had picked any other like firepower beyond Grey, it would have been. It's a lot harder to do because
so instead of Grey, Pup.
Okay.
Pup can invis and run up and see things.
Yeah, that's fair. He's gonna die pretty quickly though, and that's kind of the struggle there. Whereas like an Aurora or an Asana or a Rask, can, hey, I've got 40 life. What up? And that's. I think that there's a minimum checkbox that you need, and it's. You need somebody who has vision and isn't going to die immediately. You need somebody who can try to keep other people alive. You need damage, and that's the tank damage healer is the bare minimum that you need to accomplish all of those extra stuff while also still having damage. And I think, yeah, there are definitely comps that'll work without one of those two roles. Like if you ran, I don't know, Orion or Helio, and then like semi-tanky firepowers, you could probably get away without the frontliner. But again, that requires some communication in beforehand. I expect that we'll actually see stuff like that in PPL soonish. We just need people to start exploring.
I have another thing on that. Oh yeah, so in solo queue, if you're filling, you get 3 firepowers. Is support always the right answer? In what situation do you think a frontliner would be better, or just another firepower?
I think
when you're filling, can you see the enemy team's comp?
No,
you can't until you're done picking.
Yeah, you have to pick first.
Yeah, okay.
Because that would be super troll.
Yeah, that would be pretty troll. Yeah.
I definitely think that support is pretty much always the right answer. There's definitely a spectrum of supports. Like if you've got a super kite heavy team, if you've got like Nyx, Gremo, and I don't know, Lockwood, people that stay away really well, you want to like
Finn or something that's also long range.
Not Helio at very least. I don't know if I would go with Finn in there, but I guess I have personal bias against Finn.
Yeah, you're wrong. Who would you pick? Aurora or Quark? Who would you pick?
In that comp, probably
Aurora, right? Because you can't keep a tether. Why would you? You wouldn't be able to keep a damage tether.
That's fair.
Or would you? Or would you try to be the frontliner? I don't feel like Quark can do that very well.
No, Quark does that terribly. I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the problem with Quark is definitely the tether issue. Yeah. When you get a damage dealer and a tank in your face, it's going to be real hard to keep your whole team alive, and that is a struggle.
Just push 5, dude.
Just push 5, yeah. And then everybody's got might, and then everybody dies, and there's no problem. Unless you're like me, and you consistently Quark ult when all of your teammates are dead and in bad ways, and then they just dash with might up, and it's just like, rip.
Yeah. You ult and everybody just hits the second win and walks away, and you're just like, okay, well that was great. Is that a mod? That's got to be a mod? Yeah.
Yeah, Might's a mod.
So what are your options? Why are you so bad?
Because giving my whole team Might is giving my whole team Might. I don't understand why this is even a question. Like, why are we talking about this?
I mean, second win doesn't heal anymore when I've got Might, bro. No, I've actually gotten kills because you might have me before. I'm a big fan of that mod. I'm just trolling you.
I'm not curious what the other options even are. Yeah, no, these are all terrible. Yeah, those are all terrible.
All right, well, good talk. So if it's ever 3 firepowers, just play healer.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right choice. And I feel like we're going to see a lot of that. I mean, I consistently see that in games. And it's getting a little better as we win more, but it's definitely, I don't know, I'd say at least like 60 to 75% of every game that we play is 3 firepowers, and then me and Phil.
So that semi segues into our next topic. Is it possible to solo carry in this game? In League, you can argue that it is. You can argue that it isn't. In Overwatch, you can argue that it is. You can argue that it isn't. I feel like, personally, you cannot argue for solo carrying being possible in this game.
I mean,
do you agree?
I don't disagree. I don't want to like strongly endorse that though, because I don't necessarily like, I feel like it's a matter of I am that, 10%. The game was going to be 50-50, and then I pushed it over to a 60-40 win rate because I played really well. And that's kind of what you have to go for. That's kind of it's a large number situation.
So you have to be consistently extremely good, which is surprise every support, every game ever. But it's a bigger, you think it's a bigger, like you need a bigger sample size than like League or something.
Yeah, I definitely don't think after 10 games you have any idea where you actually belong.
Well, that's true. That's true of literally every competitive online game. So that's fair. I just personally, I feel like if you're going to climb in this game, you have to be perfect all the time, which is unreasonable, and you have to play a huge amount of games, which for some people is not a problem. For me, is absolutely going to be a problem. Because even when I played League, I was lucky to get 500 games in a season.
I mean, also League games are
20 minutes, yeah. 20, 30 minutes. These can get to be 20 minutes.
Yeah, but a short League game, like the minimum time for a League game is a long AR game. Like,
no, bro, you can FF at 15 in League. They were all short for me.
Oh, is it 15? I thought it was 20.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea, but
In any case,
the joke is I lost every time.
Yeah, no, I know. I got it.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. Like an average League game for me in my MMR was actually closer to 45 minutes. I want to say.
So you can play more games. I also feel like, I don't know.
But they're also like, I'm talking like a League season is a year. It's just that's like 9 months. It's not quite a year. 10 months. Right. This is October to January to mid-January.
No, I also don't think it's as big of a deal as you're making it out to be. The like requirement for large numbers. I think that's you're overblowing it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're wrong. So
that's fine.
Stalemate. I mean, and it's also very likely that I'm just terribly like new and don't understand.
I mean, but you are like.
Yeah. No. Okay. Let me rephrase that. I'm terribly new and I don't understand. But right now, I feel like. It's not.
I have no basis for any statement I'm about to make, but here it is.
I mean, it feels to me like I felt early on in League and in Overwatch that it was carryable. Mm-hmm. You can do some dank meme moves and hard carry a game. I haven't really seen that yet, and I really don't feel like there's an opportunity for that yet. But again, I've played like 5 games, so what do I know?
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So moving along, we got a pro tip in our last episode in our comments. The one comment we got, actually there's 2. It was from Meg Challenor, Dizzy in game, and she says, I'm pretty sure that's a she, says the clash system has a really cool things have been happening with it. Myself, Dizzy, and a member of 12 Ducks, I don't know what that is, ran into a Might Together. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I totally know what that is. Ran into a Might Together, so neither one of them got it. But then the 12 Might guy, he pathed through it, and then he pathed back to it, because I guess he planned on clashing. And because he pathed back to it, he picked it up. So if you ever think you're going to clash with somebody, like Devon, your crappy support, just path over it and then back to it. But that won't work. That won't work if your crappy support ends his move on it. If they go through it, you'll get it. It gives it to the it gives priority to the guy who ends his turn on that square.
Yeah. Which is a really cool it was a really cool interaction. I didn't actually, that didn't occur to me that would happen, so
I've never seen it, but that's because I play Celeste. That's what I'm trying to get to. I think as soon as I stop playing Celeste, I'll see that interaction a lot more, and it'll frustrate me a lot more. But now I know how to combat it, so it's okay.
GG.
All right. So let's go back to it's no longer beta feedback, but we'll go to our feedback section, our move phase.
Just so
I don't know what you're talking about. The one thing that I love in every game ever is stat tracking. I'm a big stat tracking nerd. I even like the stat tracking from if it has stats and it's tracked somewhere, I'm all about it, especially in sports or in the games I play.
You took 15 turns to win all your Candy Crush games on average?
Yo, I'm going to start playing Candy Crush if that's a real thing. So anyway, our big thing, and this is, I'm going to say words that I don't fully understand the meaning of, but provide the API that would allow for us to have stat tracking fan sites like Master Overwatch and Watcher.gg or OP.gg and LolKing. And really just more in-depth in-game tracking.
Or some in general. Mine is super fluffed. I'm so salty about the fluffed up AI in my stats.
Yes.
It makes them worthless. They're just worthless.
When League was in beta, it had it showed your top 3 just like AR does, but then it showed everything. It showed everything that OPGG shows in the client, and that was really cool. Mm-hmm. It even showed you distance walked. It was a crazy amount of stat tracking.
Maybe that's why they still don't have replays.
Because the stat tracking crashes EU West constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
That must be it. I know literally nothing, so I don't even know if that's possible, but I'm going to assume you're being silly.
I'm a science computer guy. I know what I'm doing.
I'm a psychologist from that one show.
So yeah, I would definitely love to see the API for this. I feel like we're already basically there in that the replays, they've got to be storing that information in there somehow. It can't be more than a couple steps away. It's just a matter of making it something that we don't have to actually dig through files. Because, so little technical bit. An API would allow someone to create a website that then goes to I hate you. That then goes to their servers and says, "Hey, how many wins does this guy have?" Stuff like that. Whereas right now, I think that you could probably dig it out of the files, but it would be nasty and it wouldn't be very clean. So, with that said, stop killing yourself and take it away.
I actually had something I was going to say, and I derailed me derailing you. Oh, API. That's a hot button item for companies or for some devs, is it not? Isn't that why are some devs funny about API? Is there a security issue there?
Not if you do it right. I can't think of anything there's server stress. It would be relatively easy to make something that pulls a lot from the API and overloads the servers so that you can't actually run stuff. But I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing to put a workaround into. You just, I don't know. I can't think of any actual reason. Yeah, I can't think of any reason why anyone would be weird about APIs. So
I can't think of an example of one either. But I do recall you can't make fan sites for certain games because they just don't support it. The devs just don't support it with API.
I mean,
we played one recently that was like that, and I can't remember what it was.
It doesn't generate money, I guess. That's the only thing I can really think of is that it doesn't.
Why put dev time into it if it's
it's not going to generate profit. It's not actually going to your players are not going to say, "Oh, this game's got an API. That's awesome." But if you say, "Oh, it's got flashy graphics or whatever like that," that'll draw people in. But like the API, nobody's the average user is
Does
not
it
going to know
take that much time? Do you think?
Yeah, that would. It's going to be a semi work intensive process. I mean, it depends on what they hold on to. Like, if they're already saying, "Oh, Kulana's got 15 wins with Celeste, and 6 of them are bot games or whatever." Like, if they're keeping track of that information already, it's not that bad. But like the more
you
granular,
white line my Celeste.
I don't know why that was the one that came to mind. But like for the more granular stuff, they probably aren't keeping track of like how much damage you do in a game, stuff like that. So they have to build that storage in, and then they have to create a system that allows people to ask for it.
So what makes you think that they're storing it? Because right now they don't separate bot versus PvP games. They note that it's PvP versus with bots versus PvE. But are they storing that? When you look at the replay, they're just showing a spectate version of it. No?
I mean, if the client is smart enough to know what type of game it is, then they're obviously storing it somehow. Even if it's just like game type equals, bot match or PvE match or whatever. Like, yeah. They're keeping track of it somehow, even if they're not actually like summing it and saying, 15 bot games kind of thing. So.
Okay. I choose to believe all the things you just said because I am illiterate. Illiterate? Ignorant. I don't know how to read either, evidently.
You were both of these things.
On to the next weird-looking symbols on my screen. This is like, I don't know. It's a feedback item, and this was actually in the MMO games article as well. Is the game just suffers from having a small community? It just needs more players. It needs, and I don't think that they're doing. I feel like they're doing enough. It's just not working as well as it should. I feel like they're at every PAX. They're at TwitchCon right now. In fact, they're doing all these live streams with their already used player base that watch the live streams. I don't know what else they could be doing differently aside from instead of local singles in your area Facebook ads saying Atlas Reactor now.
They're doing
I don't
that
know
too,
what they
though.
could do.
Are they actually? So many like Atlas Reactor banner ads. Yes, it's crazy. They're pushing pretty hard.
That's because the internet knows what you like.
That's
no,
no, that's definitely a reasonable statement.
Oh, okay. I was hoping that wasn't a thing.
No, that's absolutely a thing.
I mean, I know it's a thing, but I hope that wasn't the case. Is what I mean. I don't go on Facebook anymore. Like the things that I look at that they could even advertise to me through would be like Twitter and Imgur. That's it. Or Imager, or however people say it. So like I don't feel like they're doing anything wrong or not enough, but holy crap, we need more people in here.
Yeah. During the open beta period, there was I had a 6-minute queue, a couple of 6-minute queues in my last of my solo games, and I was just like, this is not good.
It hasn't been like that at all recently.
No, yeah, we've been having about a minute queue times, which is not bad.
It's pretty crazy. And you got to think that only people who have paid are playing right now.
Yeah.
It should only get better in theory.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right. So, on to our last section, whatever this is called, score screen, community spotlight. This is a new one for us. We haven't done this one before. So we'll kick it off with Zennore. Link is in the description. It's a comic by Zennore. It's very well put together. It links to her Tumblr or his Tumblr, but then goes to a DeviantArt, which is kind of weird. That Tumblr theme is amazing. Have you seen that? Have you played with that?
Yeah, it was the fish. It was the fish, yeah.
Yeah, and you can feed the fish and they follow your mouse. Anyway, totally secondary to the actual content. That was a super tight Tumblr theme. It's got El Asana Gray. It looks pretty well done, like borderline professional, I would say. Definitely worth a look at.
Some of the devs were actually commenting on it too about how they liked it. So I'm assuming that he pulled into the lore a little bit, but I'm not familiar enough with the lore to know whether or not he did specifically.
I don't either. I haven't. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, and so next we have 2 amazing pieces of art. I know you're probably cringing, but I loved them. I
loved them.
Oh, did you actually?
I actually love them. When you put them in the outline, I was like, oh, what is this? Oh my god, yes.
It was so good. They're Magical Girl Titus and Magical Girl Garrison, and they were just the goofiest thing. He was like posting them online and was just like, I'm sorry, but also not sorry because these are amazing. And it was just, yeah. But we will link to them because they're great. It
was done by at PogoNR too, by the way.
He did
on
also
Twitter.
a really great like splash page that was like all of the or a big like I'm blanking on words right now. Like it was a bunch of different AR crew in different poses and stuff, and it was pretty good. So yeah,
I didn't see those.
It's actually, if you go to his Twitter page, it's his profile banner. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So definitely check out at PogoNR's Twitter because oh my god, it's full of amazing gems.
Indeed.
And then, so the last thing we have before our stuff is Tycho, who I didn't realize was the PAX guy, one of the two PAX guys.
You didn't know that watching the video?
I mean, I knew it. I didn't know the name. The second I saw his face, I was like, oh crap, that's the PAX guy. But he has
the PAX guy to you. That's so good. Sorry, carry on.
Well, there's two PAX guys, so he's not the PAX guy. He's PAX guy B. There's PAX guy A and PAX guy B. But anyway, he did like a live stream setup with two of the devs, and he played Atlas Reactor with the devs for 64 friggin' minutes, and it's really good. He was loving it too. He was all about it. The devs couldn't keep up with his enthusiasm.
Yeah, he's a super analytical thinker. Like that's just part of what he is, and he really likes turn-based games. So he's willing to get in there and discuss the gritty stuff, and it was good.
Yeah. And he said some things that had the devs a little bit like, well, hold on a second, let me think. Like it wasn't just another one of these, it's a great game, come play it. He was like talking through the game mechanics with them about it. So it was really good. My only complaint is 64 minutes. So well, I mean, unless
also it was a super old like edition. I don't actually recognize a lot of the UI elements that he had up, and that was a little, sad that it came out so much later.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, that was a great thing, and you should definitely watch that.
It was funny too because they're like, we have this build that we're going to send you, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'll just use my login. They're like, what?
Oh yeah, that was right. They were like, we're going to give you a super hyped up account, and he's like, no, I'm going to do this straight. We cool.
He's like, I have my account. I already have an account. And they're like, what?
So yeah.
So anyway, totally worth a check out. Now on to our stuff. We still don't have emails because you people don't like us.
That's right. Shame the community.
Yes. But no, we're not doing that this week, right?
What? The giveaway?
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
We'll announce the giveaway. So I won let's see if I can find it, PAX gift pack thingy from Tryon.
Thingy, nice, excellent.
It's got a bunch of stuff from all of their games. The important one, though, is the Citadel Gray skin, but it also has a Challenger vehicle in Defiance. I don't know what any of this stuff is, so excuse me. A Shimmering Devil Wings for Devilian, a Flying Carpet for Trove, a Community Racing Snail mount, which, wow, that sounds cool, for Rift, and a Mist Racer mount for Arcage. So I'm going to be giving that away to a random person who gives us a piece of feedback, any kind of like, your guys' voices are dumb or whatever, like preferably real stuff, but whatever.
Preferably real stuff. Indeed.
Yeah.
How do they have to do it? Twitter or email specific?
I honestly don't care. Whatever you use, make sure that I can contact you at that point. But yeah, tweet at me, tweet at Turn One Catalyst. Yeah.
You should plug our email real quick.
Oh, we have an email. It's turnonecatalyst@gmail.com. So you can contact us there for that.
We still don't have iTunes reviews, so we'd also like if that'll count too, right? Or no? Can you contact them through that?
I don't think I can. So if you leave an iTunes review, definitely do that, and you can leave it there. But also you have to put a piece of contact information, or also tweet at me and say, "Hey, that iTunes review was me." So.
And we'll totally believe you, no matter what.
I mean, unless like 3 people come up and say, "Hey."
The chances are pretty likely that we'll believe you, actually.
Yeah. Like at that point, it's easier to just write a BS review than it is to try and claim somebody else's review.
And it should be noted, he would rather give this to a fan than me. My birthday is in literally 6 days, and he hates me this much. I just want that on the air, on the record.
Okay. I didn't use it myself. Okay, so I'm
Yeah, but
sacrificing.
everybody knows. Everybody knows you love me more than you love you.
Very true.
Very true.
So anyway, yeah, that's us.
That's it.
Close it out.
We'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Wait. We record every 2 weeks. Yeah, every 2 weeks at 5 p.m. PST. Wow, we hit an hour on the nose. We are so good. We're also on YouTube. It's Turn One Catalyst on YouTube. It's Turn One Catalyst on Twitter. And yeah, we also
Turn One Catalyst at Gmail.
at Gmail. Yeah, those are our accounts. Yeah.
Those
Thanks
are
for
the
watching,
things we did
everybody.
it.